Okay, so let's talk about the trade relationship between two fascinating economies, Brazil and Bangladesh. Now, on the surface, you see this huge, lopsided trade story. But, and this is the really interesting part, if you dig just a little deeper, you find the story is absolutely packed with untapped potential. And let's just hit you with a big number right away. We are looking at a trade deficit of nearly $2.5 billion for Bangladesh when it comes to Brazil. Think about it like this. Bangladesh is buying about $2.7 billion worth of stuff from Brazil, but Brazil is only buying around $282 million back. That is a massive, massive gap. So when you see a number like that, what's your first reaction? Does it just scream weakness, like one side is getting totally outplayed? Or, and this is the question we're going to explore, is that imbalance actually hiding a goldmine of opportunity for Bangladeshi exporters? To really get a handle on the current situation, we have to start with the one area where Bangladesh is, well, an absolute superstar in the Brazilian market, and that's apparel. What's just wild is how incredibly focused this success is. I mean, look at this. A whopping 90% of everything Bangladesh sells to Brazil is either knit or woven apparel. Now, on one hand, that's amazing, right? It proves Bangladesh can go head-to-head with anyone in a huge market and win. But it also creates a pretty significant vulnerability. Yeah, and this quote from our source material just perfectly sums up the whole situation. This is both good news and a warning. The good news? The success is undeniable. But the warning is pretty stark. Having all your eggs in one basket is a super risky game. Think about it. Any major disruption to the global apparel market and poof, almost all of Bangladesh's exports to Brazil could just vanish. So why does this trade look this way? Well, the key idea here is something economists call complementarity. And really, it just makes a ton of sense. It's a very logical exchange. You've got Bangladesh, a manufacturing powerhouse, sending finished consumer goods, the clothes we wear. And in return, you've got Brazil, which is a giant in agriculture and resources, sending back the raw materials like sugar, cotton, and grains. One side makes the stuff, the other side provides the ingredients. Okay, so if we all agree that relying just on garments is risky, the big question becomes, what's next? Where are the real, genuine opportunities for Bangladesh to branch out beyond t-shirts and trousers? And the smartest way to think about this isn't about, reinventing the wheel. The real future is in what we call adjacency. Basically, it means looking at the industries that are right next door to what you're already amazing at. It's all about leveraging the skills and the know-how that Bangladesh has already perfected in apparel and manufacturing. And you know what? When you actually dig into the trade data, you can already see the seeds of this diversification. We're talking about things like leather goods, footwear, ceramics, plastics, even toys. Now, sure, the numbers are small right now, but these aren't just wild guesses. These are actual products that are already on the ground being sold in Brazil. They're like little footholds that can be scaled up into something much, much bigger. Okay, but let's be real for a second. Knowing what you could sell is just step one. Brazil has a reputation, right? It's known for being a complex, kind of tricky market to break into. But here's the thing. Complex doesn't mean impossible. It just means you gotta have a good map. And the absolute core concept you need to get your head around is this idea: multi-agency consent. So unlike some countries where you just deal with one customs office, in Brazil, your product might need a thumbs up from several different government agencies, all depending on what exactly you're selling. And these are the big players you need to know. Think of them as the gatekeepers. If you're selling anything agricultural, you're going to be talking to MAPA. If your product needs to meet certain technical standards or get certified, that's in Metro's world. And if it has anything to do with health, even stuff like food packaging, you'll be dealing with Anvisa. Just knowing who's who is a huge part of the battle. All right, so we've got the context, we know the risks, we see the opportunities. So what's the actual game plan? How does a business in Bangladesh go from just being interested to actually being in the Brazilian market? Let's break it down into a clear step-by-step strategy. Here we go, your 4-step blueprint. Step 1, get your house in order. Build a Brazil-ready product catalog, organized by the right technical customs codes. Step 2, and this one is absolutely critical, find a great local partner, an importer in Brazil who really truly gets the system. Do not skip this. Step 3, be a detective. Use Brazil's own official trade data to spot the gaps in the market, the white spaces where your products can fit. And finally, step 4, play the long game. Brazil is a medium-term investment, not a get-rich-quick scheme. You have to be patient.
And the really important thing to remember is that nobody has to go it alone. There's a whole support system out there. You've got trade chambers like the BBCI, which are fantastic for networking and advocacy. You've got expert consultants who can handle all the tricky compliance stuff. And of course, trade fairs are where you get to meet buyers face to face. Really, success in a market like this is a team sport.
So we kind of end up right back where we started, but now we're looking at it completely differently. That massive trade deficit, it's not just a scary number anymore. It's actually a measure of the incredible opportunity that's just sitting there. Bangladesh has already proven it can compete and win with apparel. They've cracked the code. So the only real question left is, which industry is next? Is it going to be footwear, ceramics, leather? Which one is going to be the next big made in Bangladesh success story lighting up the Brazilian market?